Have you ever been in a situation where someone is trying to communicate with you and all they do is shout at you and act like their opinion is more important and or superior than yours? Can you actually have effective communication when you have stereotypes and prejudice? I don't believe so. This was the reality for William Seymour, who was forced to sit outside of seminary training because of his skin color. Despite this, he started the African American revival in the 1900s on Azusa Street that started the multicultural church movement, according to the website azusastreet.org. According to the text Communication, Principles for a Lifetime by Stephen and Susan Beebe, this is a prime example of ethnocentrism. Ethnocentrism causes divide and conflict. Perhaps when we look within ourselves and we reflect on how our behavior is, we can combat ethnocentrism. Now I'll begin to tell you about the two barriers for effective communication. According to the text Communication, Principles for a Lifetime by Stephen and Susan Beebe, a stereotype is a judgment statement that categorizes people according to their race. Conversely, prejudice is, quote, a judgment based on the assumption that we already have all the information we know about a person, from the same book. An example of a stereotype would be saying that all Muslims are racist. An example of a prejudice would be saying that a black man is dangerous because he is black. Both are hurtful and untrue. Neither are based in reality. Now I'll begin to tell you the ways to combat prejudice and stereotypes within our communication. According to the text Communication, Principles for a Lifetime by Stephen and Susan Beebe, this type of behavior causes divide and conflict. We can also begin to ask ourselves, what stage are we in when it comes to being culturally competent? Are we being kind in what we say, or are we judging people? It doesn't cost anything to be kind. In fact, it costs nothing. We can also become others-oriented to combat prejudice and stereotypes. And we can also ask questions instead of assuming that we know someone just by their skin color or their race. In conclusion, stereotypes and prejudice are the two barriers we must recognize to have effective communication and to become culturally competent. We can also begin to reflect on how we speak, and then we can begin to heal and communicate with each other in an effective manner. No one should ever be treated as William Seymour was treated. Just because of his skin color, he refused the right to preach the gospel.